Okay, good morning everyone. So let's start session with we started method concept, right? In that, so I will give the summary like what we discussed in the last sessions. So we'll get the clarity on it. So I will give the summary like what we covered in the methods concept. So generally, okay, fine. In the methods concept, like we learned like what is the purpose of methods. Methods are used to perform some operations. Okay, so again, the methods are divided into two types: instance method and static methods. And so after that, method declaration and method signature and method combinations. We learned about the method combinations. Method combinations. So generally, we have the four combinations. Okay, with parameters, with return type, with parameter, with return type, without parameter, without return type, with parameter, without parameter, without return type. These are the four combinations. These are the four combinations. And after that we discussed about so method take an input as object. So this is the one scenario we learned. Method take an input as object. Okay, so here we are passing a multiple values input as a input to the method. Okay, and in the after that we'll learn about here taking the inputs, and here method returns as output as object. Here method is taking the inputs multiple values. Here the method is returning output return as output as object. So here the method is returning multiple values as object. So for example, what we did generally here. So for example, if you take the any method like I would say void m1 method. Okay, here we will pass as the object as a parameter. So generally the purpose of method in the Java, the purpose of method, it will take the parameters, process the parameters and return the response. Here we are passing as the object as the parameter. Object as the parameter. For example, if you take the student class and this is the object you are passing and it can hold, we are keeping all the information inside this variable, and through that we are passing the values to the method, and it will take the parameters and it will do some operation and it will return something. It will return the output. So this is the method take an input as the object. After that, this is the case number 2, this is the case number 1, and after that we'll learn about method take an input as the object. And in the third, after that we'll learn about method return as multiple values. If the method want to return as the multiple values, then you have to declare with object m1, and here inside it has to return object. Inside it has to return object. It has to return object. Return return object. It has to return object. For returning that object, you have to create object inside the method. New person, and this person you can store one reference variable name, and the person data type is the person. So these are things we learned in the previous sessions. Method combinations, method take as a input as object, method return as output as object. So these are the things. These are the things we learned in the last sessions. So, and I give the total 4 assignments actually in the last session. So one of the assignment based on the previous topics. So today we'll go with I will give the, for example, if I give the assignment like this, like write a Java program, and which will return cricket player data, which will return cricket player data based on the player number, based on the player number. I will increase some, sorry. So if I give the assignments here, for example, the player data is Dhoni, and the Dhoni number I would like to give some. Dhoni number is the 7, and the next mm, Kohli. Kohli number is 18, and the next Rohit Sharma will take with Rohit Sharma. Rohit Sharma, the data number is 45. 45. So the question, if I give the assignment you like this, for example, how we can write the program for this one. So last, whatever I shared the last two assignments also, those two assignments also similar like this only. If you do those assignments, you can get the clarity on this. Okay, so this program is write a Java program which will return cricket player data based on the player number, based on the player number. So in this, how we can write the program? In this case, how we can write the program? So I hope this is clear where we are and what we learned in the methods concept. So method concept is very, very important. So that is the reason we are discussing multiple times on it. We are discussing multiple times on it. Okay. Methods concept is very, very important. Okay. I'll go to this one. XRC basic programs. Driver.java. Okay, driver.java. I'm opening this one. This one. So this is the program. So generally, how we can write the program generally, what we did in the last sessions generally, write a Java program which will return cricket player data based on the player, based on the player, based on the player. So generally, I will take this one. I will take one more file. Okay, so I am taking the file. The file name I would like to take the driver. You can take the class. The class name I am taking like as the driver. Okay, and then next. Okay, this is the main class, and here I am taking one class. The class name is I would say I am taking the class as the player or person, anything you can take. So player. Okay, so here I am taking the properties like as the three properties I would like to take: int ID and string name, and next I would like to take int age. So these are the three properties I would like to take. Okay, fine. And next thing is, so this already we know, two classes I took, and here I am passing, I would like to take one method, that is void m1 method I am taking, and for this I am passing as a object as the parameter. Object as the parameter I am passing. How can I pass object as the parameter? Like player p, you can pass player p, and in that if you want to return the multiple values, how we can return the multiple values? So here actually our requirement is, so based on the number, based on the player number, we have to return the values, right? So in this case you should declare the method with the data type as the player, the data type as the player. Okay, fine. And here you can if the method have to return the value, then what you have to do, how to create the object. So new object, and I have to create the player. This player object you can store in one reference variable, and the reference variable data type is the player. The reference variable data type is the player, and it has to return p. So as of now this is clear, right? So yeah, as of now this is clear. We learned in the last session up to now. Now today our program is, so write a Java program which will return cricket player based on the player number. So here I am passing the player number. I am passing the player number like this, int id, int id or anything. So I am passing the player number like as the id. Okay, if I pass the IDE, so here I will take the conditions. So if the condition ID equal to 7, and inside I will write the my business logic. Inside I will write the my business logic. So here also like else if, and here ID equal to some 18, and inside I will write the my business logic. My business logic I will write. So here else if, here also like id equal to 45. So inside also I will write my business logic. Inside also I will write my business logic. Inside also I will write my business logic. What business logic I will write generally? So here the value, here it is taking the parameter which is 7. So when it will take the I would say input as the 7, then it has to assign the value with int id equal to 7, and p dot name equal to I can mention with Dhoni, and similarly p dot age equal to 40, and similarly the same data whenever the condition is satisfied. In case of else if, then I have to print these details. Int id is equal to 18, and the data is Kohli, and here the age is 34. The age is 34. So similarly you can do in case of here also. If the number is 45, then I have to print 45, and the data, the name is, I would like to mention Rohit Sharma. Okay, so similarly the age is also around 38. I am mentioning around 38. I am mentioning. Okay, this is which method? This is the instance method. How you can access the instance method? You have to, where the method is available, this method is available in the driver class, and by default this method won't execute. You have to tell to the JVM, you have to execute our custom method. So for that purpose you should take main method, and every program execution entry point is the main method only, and every program execution start from the main method only. Okay, so here we have two classes. One is the player class, and second is the driver class. For which class we will create the object? Obviously driver class. Why? Because m1 method is available inside the driver class only, right? So you have to call m1 method. You have to call m1 method. Okay, so for that purpose I am creating driver object, and this object again I am storing in one reference variable, and this reference variable data type is the driver, and similarly now I can able to call driver dot m1 method. When I am calling the m1 method, it is asking the number, that is id, which is asking id. I am giving id as the 7, and this again I am storing in one I would say one object. Why? Because here it is returning in the format of object, right? So that is the reason again I am storing in an object. that here I am mentioning some player. This is the object and this is the data type. This is the data type. So with that, and now I will print the data. System.out.println and the player dot id, and I'm doing the concatenation, and similarly here also player dot name, and I can do the concatenation. Next you can take with player dot age, player dot age. So these are the details you have to take. These are the details we have to take. Player dot name, okay. So I hope generally this is clear. Like if I run this one, then you can get the data based on this one. For example, or simply I can run this one. I can save the file. Now I can run the file. Now you can get the data, or generally you can get the Dhoni data. You can get the Dhoni data. So generally what will happen internally process, I will show you through the MS Paint. MS Paint, you can get the clarity on it. So I will take MS Paint. Okay, fine. So in our file total we have two classes. One is the player class and second one is the driver class. So in our file we have the total two classes. One is the player class and second one is the driver class. So player class, which is generally this is the player class, and okay. Stocking something 699. Taking this one as the we have two classes. One is the driver class and the second one is player class. Second one is the player class. Okay. So where we have the I would say JVM architecture, right? In the JVM architecture, how it will treat generally. This is the JVM architecture, and so initially the class code will be stored in the method area. The class code will be stored in the method area, and here we have the stack area which is responsible for the methods execution, and here you can assume this is the heap area. This is the heap area, and how it will be treated generally. So initially the class code will be loaded into the JVM. Okay, fine. So the where we have the in our class we have the two classes. One is the driver class and the second one is the player class. Okay, and where you have the main method, and when you execute the main method, our program execution will started. This is the main method. Okay, main method, and inside main method, it will look for the any objects will be created or not. So we have created an object, that is the driver class. Okay, one object got created inside the driver class. This is the object, and this object got created inside the driver class. And so here, this is the driver class, and in that driver class it has the one method, that is the m1 method. How we can call the m1 method? By using the driver object. By using the driver object. So here how we create the object. So generally we can create the object new operator. New is the operator, and the driver. Okay, so this one I am storing in one reference variable driver. So this is the approach. We have created the object, that is the driver object. Driver object. Okay, driver object. Okay, similarly, and when you create the player object, so the player object also will be stored here. So this is the player object will be available in the heap area. This is the heap area, and I can say this is the heap area. I would say this is the heap area, and this one is the method area, and this is the name. This is the PC stack. PC stack. PC stack. So if you don't initialize instance variables, then obviously it will print the by default values. But here we are initializing our instance values. Here we are initializing our instance values. So generally what will happen here in this program? So here we are passing as the int id as the parameter. So wherever the condition is satisfied, so then that object it is executing. That object it is executing. For example, if you pass any other value, here if you pass any other value, so wherever the condition is satisfied, then that object is executing. Then that object is executing. For example, if I pass 18, then wherever the condition is satisfied, the object will be executing. There the object will be executing. There the object will be executing. So in the last session, I have shared two assignments. Last two assignments also similarly like this only. We have to there also you have to take one integer parameter, and through that you can validate the conditions, and wherever the condition is satisfied, then it will print the values. Then it will print the values. Okay, I hope so. Last two assignments are clear. Last two assignments are clear. So here what we did generally, I took the one player class, and the player class is having the properties int id and string name and int age. And here I am taking one more method. The method here the method is returning multiple values. From that I am passing the integer values. Here it is checking the conditions. Wherever the condition is satisfied, then that object will execute. So here in this case I am passing this one, and if the condition is satisfied this one, then this values will be executed. And here if the condition is satisfied this condition, then here in this values will be executed. Here if the condition is satisfied this one, here this values will be executed. Here this values will be executed. Here this values will be executed. So this is the method returning with multiple values and taking the parameter. Are you guys clear with my points? This is clear, guys. In this area, anyone have any questions? Guys, this is clear. This example is clear. Should I explain with any other program? Should I explain one more time? Okay, fine. So after that, we can go with some other programs. You can get the clarity on it. So generally, I will take another one. I will take some other class. I will take some demo is the class I am taking. So here I am taking another class, that is the demo. And here the next question I will ask like write a Java program, write a Java method. It should take two persons as the object. So if I give the assignment like this, for example, write a Java program, write a Java method, write a Java method, and it should the method it should take two objects as the two pers it should take two objects as a input, two objects as a input, two objects as a input. So in that case, how you can take the two objects as input? In that case, how you can take two objects as input? So generally, for example, if I take the method m1 is the method, and from here to here, the scope of the m1 method. Here, what I am saying, two objects. The method want to take two objects as the input. So demo, for example, D, and demo, for example, I would like to take the D2. So should I take like this? Yes, you can take like this. Yes, you can take like this. So as of now, so in previous cases, what we did generally, we took only one object as the parameters. So not only one object, you can take multiple objects as a parameter. Multiple objects as the parameter. Okay, multiple objects as the parameter. So for example, here I will take the properties are like yeah, this is the instance method, and from this method, what I will do generally. So here I will take the other class, which is basically should take a parameter. Now what I will do, so generally I will take one main method, and the main method has, this is the, here I will create two objects. So one is new demo, and this demo I have to store in the object is d1, and the class name is the demo, and similarly demo and d2 and demo new demo. So these two objects I am passing as an input to this method, as an input to this method, as an input to this method, as an input to this method. For example, here I am taking some variables, the instance variables. If I take like a int id, and I can take some string, a name. Okay, next some int age or anything. If I take like this, now here I can pass the values. Here I can pass the values like here I will take the sysout statement, sysout statement d1 dot d1 dot id, and similarly you can do the concatenation. Next d1 dot name. Next you can do the concatenation, and d1 dot age, d1 dot age. So similarly you can do with d2 also. Similarly you can do with d2 also. Similarly you can do with d2 also. You can do with d2 also, d2 dot age, and here also d2, and here also you can mention with d2 dot age, d2 dot age. Okay, so this is the method m1 method, right? If I directly call the m1 method like this, So I would like to mention we have to call, we have to create one more method, that is the new demo, and from this method again I am storing in one reference variable. That reference variable name is the D and the data type is the demo. The data type is the demo. Now I have to, I am calling M1 method. I'm calling the M1 method by using, I'm calling the M1 method by using D dot M1 method. If I am passing the M1 method, it is asking the, it is asking, yeah, inputs. It is asking the inputs. If I run this one, I can get the default values. If I run this one, I can get the default values. For example, if I run this one, I can get the default values, right? I can get the default values. I don't like default values. I want to initialize the values. How you can initialize the values? You can initialize the values like this. D1 dot int D1 dot ID equal to, you can pass some 101, and D1 dot name equal to, we can pass the value which is generally any values you can pass. So in this case I'm passing some Raju, and similarly D1 dot age equal to, you can pass some 25 or like that, you can pass the value like this. So similarly you can do with, in case of this is not a string, you have to mention normally, and you can pass the all the values with respect to D2 also. So simply you can change the values to and 2 and 2, and you can save this one. You can save this one. Now you can run this one. Now you can run this one. So in this case, what we are doing generally, so we are getting the values Raju and Raju. So 2 times Raju is coming. Here you can change with the Rani, and here you can change with the number is 1 or 2. 1 or 2. Now you can run this one. You can get the values. You can get the values. So now today what we are doing generally, for one object, for the method we are passing, multiple objects as an input, multiple objects as an input, multiple objects as an input. Okay, so multiple objects as an input. Can run this one. Now we can get the values. So for one method, I would say we can pass the multiple objects. For one method, we can pass multiple objects. Okay. So this is clear, guys. Anyone have any questions in this area? Guys, this is clear, or should I explain one more time? Guys, this is clear. So based on this topic, so I will give few of the assignments on this. So please go through those and do the assignment and share in the group. Okay. So methods concept is the very important, and you have to understand internal process. You have to understand internal process. Are you guys clear with my points? So you have to understand internal process. So I will give the few of assignments on this. So please go through that and do the assignment and share in the group. Okay. I will give the few of assignments on it. Okay. Any other questions, guys? Guys, any other questions? Anyone? Any other questions?
Sir,
Yes.
when will start the offline classes, sir?
Offline classes timings we will update. I'm not sure. We will update the timings. Timings I'm not sure.
Yeah, okay, sir.
I think from Monday. I'm not sure the timings actually. So the timings we will update. Okay, guys. Can you please share your names? I will share some assignments on it. So please go through the assignment and do the assignment. Share in the group. Okay. Please share your names, guys. Yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you.